Hey guys, what's up? This is Mystical from Halo4U.com, bringing you another video on Borderlands 2. If you follow our channel or subscribe to our YouTube channel, I'm sure by now noticed that I'm constantly releasing videos on Borderlands 2 lately. And the reason being is because in waiting for Halo 4, it's a game I picked up when it released. And it's just been a game that I've fallen in love with, and I just think it's a very well made game. I've done a lot of videos showing you some of the different Easter eggs, which there are a ton and a ton more, and I'm planning on doing some more videos on those. But this particular one, I wanted to talk to you about the skill trees for the new character, the Mechromancer, which just came out about a week ago. I've already gotten her up to level 50, which is the max you can do in Borderlands 2. And wanted to go ahead and show you guys because there's been a lot of questions on the skill trees of the Mechromancer, so I wanted to kind of show you what I feel is the best. Of course, the first thing you have to do is summon the death trap. This go right up here. It's the very first move you have to make in order to do any of the trees, just like with any of the other characters. And her ability is she summons a death trap, which is a robot that fights for you, kind of like the Commando's turrets, only this is a robot. So that was the first thing we did. And there's two skill trees that I went ahead. I messed around with all of these, and this is the best combination I found. And what I've kind of been told, or what I've read on the internet, which I don't really agree with, is they say that the first tree is kind of for new gamers, people that might be new to the whole skill trees and everything, and may not be that great of a player, because it does a lot of benefits in keeping you alive in the game. The tree that they say professional gamers will use, or those that are really good, is this last tree, which is the ordered chaos tree, which basically allows you to do massive amounts of damage. However, after following that tree, I came to the realization that it is a great tree and it's definitely something you need, but I don't think it's the best tree by itself, because there really isn't much besides the anarchy, which I'll talk about in a second, that this tree really grants you. So, let's go ahead and discuss it. So the first thing I would do is I would fill up probably the anarchy tree first. Because it is a very powerful tree and it does provide you with a lot of stuff. So what you want to do is this is kind of the way I did it, and I'll kind of explain it, and then you can tweak it to your settings. But this is what I found out to be the best. The very first point after you do the first point and summon Death Trap you want to do is the Anarchy. And it says here that killing an enemy or fully emptying your gun's magazine while in combat grants you a stack of Anarchy. For every stack of Anarchy that you have, you gain bonus gun damage, but your accuracy is decreased. Prematurely reloading your gun removes all stacks of Anarchy. Anarchy stacks are quickly lost while in Fight for Your Life mode. You can see here that it does per stack plus a 1.75% gun damage and minus 1.75% accuracy. And you can get up to 150 stackable Anarchies. So every time you kill an enemy, or every time that your gun reloads without you actually hitting the reload button, you gain a stack of Anarchy. If you reload your gun before it runs out of ammo and reloads automatically, you lose every stack that you've collected. It is kind of difficult to get used to not being able to reload your gun, but it's definitely worth it because it does increase your gun's damage tremendously, and up to 150 stacks you can have. After you fill that one, before you can go down to these next three, you of course have to have 5 points out of these two. So you're going to have to fill up this one, which is the smaller, lighter, faster. It increases your reload speed but decreases your magazine size. With this character, you'll very quickly realize that you can't shoot as many bullets per gun as you normally are able to, which isn't necessarily a bad thing since you are doing massive amounts of damage. After you fill up these trees, the next thing you'll want to put in, or that I did, is this middle one, which only takes 1 point, and it's a death trap ability. It allows your robot to lash out with a flurry of attacks. Instead of one, it says if one attack is good, then 7 should be elected mayor. So basically, instead of just doing a one-hit attack, it does, it spins really fast and does 7 of them real quick, which is great because it helps kill people quicker. And then over here, the next one I filled up is you have to have 4 more before you can unlock this row. So I put 4 stacks, which it says 8 here, but that's because of a class mod I'm using. You can see there, plus 4 skill points from Slayer of Terramorphous class mod. But I put 4 in here, which increases the maximum number of anarchy stacks that you can have. So it increases it by 400. So in essence, I can have 550 stacks of anarchy now, which is massive amounts of gun damage. Then after that, again, right here, the next one I put in, which I think this is very important for this tree, is that it only takes 1 point, but it allows you, if you prematurely reload in, how before you would lose all your stacks, what this does is it activates what's called Discord, which grants you accuracy, fire rate, and health regeneration. While it's running, you lose stacks of anarchy. In itself, it's not really that great of an ability, in my opinion. I mean, I don't really use it, but the nice reason of having it, and the reason that you do use it, is if you accidentally reload your gun and you start losing stacks of anarchy, you can just shoot a bullet real quick and reload again, and it'll turn the Discord back off, stopping you from losing all of your anarchy, and instead you might only lose 5 to 6 stacks of it. And then again, you got to have 4 before you can go down to the next ones. So I did this one. You have 2 choices. Either this one, whenever you get a stack of anarchy, there's a chance that you would gain additional stack, or this one increases the movement speed of your death trap. The reason I chose this one is because of the Best Friends Forever skill tree that I did. So you'll see here in a while why I did that, and I'll come back and explain that. But it increases the movement speed of the death trap. And then after that, I did here, which is if you have 0 stacks of anarchy, then the next time that you would gain an anarchy stack, you get 25 instead. So if for whatever reason you die and lose all of your anarchy, it immediately jumps you up from 0 to 25 whenever you get a kill or have to reload your gun, where it does it automatically. And that's all I put in that tree, because here you can see these basically take away anarchy. Some of these skills. This one, every 9th bullet ricochets towards another enemy. This one overrides your melee and causes it, instead of just doing 1 attack, you do like a double attack thing. But again, I didn't really, see what was so great about it or whatever, because I don't do a lot of melee. Okay, so explaining this, I'll go back over to here, to this tree. So then what I did is you have to have 5, to start the tree. This one lets you ricochets. I went with this one, which increases that while your gun's magazine is full, you regenerate health. So in this, you can see with it all the way to 5, I regenerate 2% of my maximum health per second. After that, I immediately did this one, which allows the death trap to restore the shield of one of your allies up to 30%. And this one, then I put 5 into this one, which improves the shield recharge delay and shield recharge rate. Up to 126% and up to 108%. It depends on how low your health is. If your health is really low, you get the full percentage. If it's not, it's decreased some. After that, I went down here and put it in this one. That unlocked the 3rd section of trees. That says while death trap is active, if your death trap kills an enemy, it increases its duration and grants both of you a stackable melee damage bonus. Bonuses are lost when death trap goes away. So what I did with this is I put this in there, which you can see every time he kills an enemy, it adds 5 seconds to the death trap's duration. This explains again why in this tree I increased his movement speed, so that he was able to move quicker and get kills quicker, which keeps him out longer without dying, which is very important. You wouldn't believe how long my death trap, sometimes in the heat of a huge battle where there's tons of guys around me, how long he'll stay alive now, just because he's out, killing everything and just constantly getting that 5 seconds added onto his duration. I then went ahead and added 5 to this one, which increases the maximum health for you and the death trap. Mostly I did it to increase his health, 10%. Again, the goal is just keep him out as long as possible. This skill I absolutely love. It's called Explosive Clap. He causes an explosion in front of him by clapping his hands, dealing explosive damage to all nearby enemies. I've seen this on some, characters do 124k of damage. I mean, it's just massive, the amount of damage that this ability does. Then I went ahead and filled up this tree, which it says it gains damage reduction against all damage type. Additionally, Death Trap also gains bonus melee damage. So it increases his melee damage by 27% and increases damage reduction by 9%. then filled this one up by 5, which is really nice. It just increases the cooldown rate of your action skill, which increases it 30%, which allows you, when he does go away, for the skill to quickly charge so you can bring him out again. And then I put a point in the last one, which is Sharon is Karen, which just gives whatever shield you're using, your death trap also gets that shield. And the nice thing about it is, just like your shield, the shield recharges for him and everything also. Again, that allows him to stay out longer, which the longer he stays out and kills more enemies, just like this one, it says that you gain stackable melee damage bonus. So your melee becomes stronger, your gun damage, all that stuff, the longer he stays out. And again, I just thought, that stuff made more sense to me than the last couple of these to finish filling up this tree, because to me all that was important in this tree really was the anarchy. And of course in the middle one I didn't do any of the tree of that one. I messed with a little bit. I do have a friend that uses it, Razza Frazza, and he enjoys this skill tree. But for me, it just didn't do much. He said for him, this skill tree, and I'm just pointing this out because it does make sense, but doing it to benefit the way I did it, it really doesn't benefit you too much until the later levels, because in the beginning, it really doesn't do a lot in terms of helping you kill a lot of enemies and stuff, whereas the middle tree provides you a lot of abilities to do damage and your death trap. In the beginning of the tree, compared to where these two do not. So I know he focused more on the middle tree, which is called Little Big Trouble, and then the anarchy tree to get some anarchy. But once you get towards the end, up in your level of 40 or higher, I really have found, after playing with all the different skill trees, that this setting right here seems to work the best in giving you yourself extra damage from all the anarchy you can collect, and also giving your death trap the best ability. So I know this video was kind of long, but like I said, I've seen a lot of questions about what's the best skill tree to use for the Mechromancer, and I wanted to go ahead and just kind of let you guys see what I did and what I found to be best. Not that I'm a professional, but I have been playing Borderlands like crazy since it's come out. I do have 3 characters now up to level 50, the Siren, the Mechromancer, and the Commando. And I've done all the, rare loot drops and stuff for the different bosses. So I know the game pretty well. So I would say you definitely, this is the skill tree to go. But that's just my opinion. Tweak it to what works for you and what works for your play style. If you're a huge melee person, maybe putting some more in the last trees to get this melee bonus would be good for you. Alright guys, make sure you guys check out our website also, halo4u.com, HALO the number 4 UYOU.com, for the latest Halo 4 updates and news coming out. And of course, once the game comes out, me and Bliznade will be posting videos and stuff like crazy on our YouTube channel on there as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and you guys have a great evening.